Hello everyone! I won't hold up any of your time. I wrote down some stories based on D&D prompts that I thought you all might enjoy. As always, if you liked the video, maybe like, share, and subscribe. Without further more, onto the video. Title: Shadows of Blood and Longing. Ever since I could remember, the Blood Hunter sect had been my family. They found me as a young child, abandoned and alone in the dark alleyways of the city. From that moment on, I was raised in the ways of the Blood Hunters, trained to track and hunt down creatures of the night, sworn to protect humanity from the shadows that lurked in the darkness. But as I grew older, questions began to gnaw at the edges of my mind. Who were my birth parents? Why had they abandoned me? And most importantly, did they ever think of me, their lost child, wandering the world alone? These questions haunted my dreams and fueled my restless soul. With each passing day, the desire to uncover the truth burned brighter within me, driving me to embark on a journey in search of my past. Armed with nothing but fragmented memories and a fierce determination, I set out into the world, my heart heavy with the weight of unanswered questions. Along the way, I encountered allies and adversaries alike, each offering clues and obstacles on my quest for truth. But it was not until I stumbled upon an ancient tome hidden away in the depths of a forgotten library that I uncovered the first thread of my past. The pages spoke of a prophecy, a child born under a blood-red moon, destined to bring about great change in the world of the supernatural. With trembling hands, I traced the words that spoke of a mother's sacrifice, a father's betrayal, and a child's destiny entwined with the fate of the world. And in that moment, I knew that I was the child of prophecy, the one whose existence had been foretold in whispers and shadows. But as I delved deeper into the mysteries of my past, I uncovered painful truths that threatened to shatter my fragile soul. Betrayal, abandonment, and loss. Each revelation cut deeper than the last, leaving scars that would never fully heal. Yet amidst the darkness, there was also hope, a flickering ember of longing that refused to be extinguished. For deep within my heart, I harbored a secret desire: to find my birth parents, not out of vengeance or anger, but out of a desperate need to understand and to forgive. And so, armed with newfound purpose, I set out once more, guided by the twin beacons of truth and love. For even in the darkest of nights, there is always a glimmer of light, a spark of hope that refuses to be extinguished. And in that light, I would find the answers I sought and, perhaps, a measure of peace for my restless soul.
Title: Echoes of Freedom. The sterile walls of the laboratory seemed to close in on me, suffocating me with their clinical precision. I had been held captive for what felt like an eternity, subjected to endless experiments and torturous procedures. But amidst the pain and despair, a spark of something new had ignited within me, a power, raw and untamed, coursing through my veins like liquid fire. It began with a whisper, a faint echo of something primal and ancient, buried deep within the recesses of my mind. At first, I resisted its call, fearing the unknown depths of my newfound abilities. But as the days stretched into weeks, and the torment of my captivity grew unbearable, I found solace in the power that surged through me, a beacon of hope in the darkness. And then, one fateful night, as the guards grew lax in their vigilance, I seized my chance for freedom. With every ounce of strength I possessed, I shattered the restraints that bound me, unleashing the full force of my newfound powers upon my captors. Chaos erupted as alarms blared and lights flashed, but I paid them no mind as I fled into the night, guided by instinct and desperation. With each step, my powers grew stronger, their potential expanding beyond my wildest dreams. But with that power came a heavy burden, a knowledge that whoever had imprisoned me would stop at nothing to reclaim what they had lost. And so I became a ghost, a shadow in the night, drifting from one forgotten corner of the world to the next, always one step ahead of those who sought to capture me once more. But no matter how far I ran, the echoes of my past haunted me, their whispers of betrayal and despair a constant reminder of the life I had left behind. Yet amidst the darkness, there was also light, a glimmer of hope that burned bright within my soul. For I had tasted freedom, and I would not let it slip through my fingers so easily. With every breath, I vowed to embrace my newfound powers, to harness them for good, and to never again allow myself to be shackled by the chains of captivity. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the world faded into shadows, I embraced the darkness within me, knowing that only by facing my fears could I truly find the freedom I sought.
Ilesir. Shadows of Betrayal. The moon hung low in the sky, casting its silvery light upon the training grounds where we, the apprentice blood hunters, honed our skills under the watchful eye of our mentors. Side by side, we sparred and studied, bound by the unbreakable bond of blood and purpose. But that bond was shattered one fateful night when a group of my fellow apprentices was sent on a mission from which they never returned. Rumors whispered of dark creatures lurking in the shadows, of betrayal and treachery that cut deeper than any blade. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, I could not shake the gnawing sense of unease that gripped my heart. Questions plagued my mind. What had happened to my friends? Were they still alive, lost in the darkness that now seemed to swallow them whole? Or had they met a fate worse than death at the hands of some unspeakable horror? Driven by grief and rage, I vowed to uncover the truth, to seek out those responsible for the disappearance of my comrades and to exact vengeance upon them. With every fiber of my being, I trained harder, pushing myself to the brink of exhaustion in my quest for answers. And then, one night, as the moon hung low in the sky, I received a cryptic message, a clue, whispered in the darkness by a shadowy figure whose face remained hidden in the depths of night. With newfound purpose, I set out into the world, following the trail of breadcrumbs that would lead me to the truth. Along the way, I encountered allies and adversaries alike, each offering fragments of information that slowly pieced together the puzzle of my friend's disappearance. But as I delved deeper into the shadows, I uncovered a truth more horrifying than I could have ever imagined. Betrayal lurked at every turn, its tendrils reaching into the very heart of the Blood Hunter sect, corrupting everything it touched. With a heavy heart, I realized that my friends were not lost to some monstrous creature of the night, but to the machinations of those they had once trusted. And in that moment, a fire ignited within me, a fire fueled by grief and righteous fury, burning brighter than any sun. Armed with newfound knowledge and unwavering resolve, I embarked on a quest for justice, determined to hunt down those responsible for the betrayal of my friends and to ensure that their sacrifice would not be in vain. For in the darkness of the night, amidst the shadows that whispered of secrets and lies, I swore an oath to find the truth, to seek vengeance, and to honor the memory of those who had fallen.
Title: Blood Hunter's Redemption. The night was thick with dread as the monstrous creature descended upon the unsuspecting town, its roars echoing through the streets like thunder. Panic gripped the hearts of the townsfolk as buildings crumbled and screams pierced the air, a nightmare made flesh, born from the depths of darkness. But amidst the chaos and destruction, there were those who whispered of a different horror. A horror not of flesh and bone, but of blood and betrayal. For it was said that the Blood Hunter sect, sworn protectors of humanity, had unleashed this monstrosity upon the town, a vengeful act born of dark magic and forbidden rites. As accusations flew and tempers flared, the once revered Blood Hunters found themselves cast out, branded as traitors and murderers by those they had sworn to protect. Some of my comrades fell in the mayhem that ensued, cut down by the very people they had dedicated their lives to defending. But amidst the ashes of our shattered reputation, a flicker of hope remained. A hope that one day, the truth would come to light, and the fear and prejudice that had driven us from our homes would be vanquished once and for all. And so, with a heavy heart and a resolve as strong as steel, I set out into the world, determined to mend the rift between the Blood Hunters and the townsfolk, to make people understand that we were not monsters, but guardians, fighting to protect them from the true horrors that lurked in the shadows. It was a journey fraught with danger and uncertainty, as whispers of our alleged crimes followed us wherever we went. But with each act of kindness and bravery, we began to chip away at the walls of fear and mistrust that had been built around us, proving that the Blood Hunters were not the enemy, but the last line of defense against the darkness that threatened to consume us all. And as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, a change began to take hold, a change born of understanding and compassion, as the people learned to see us not as villains, but as allies in the fight for their survival. In the end, it was not through swords and spells that we reclaimed our honor, but through deeds of courage and selflessness, as we stood shoulder to shoulder with the townsfolk, united in our determination to build a future where fear and hatred held no sway. And though the scars of the past would never fully heal, we knew that as long as we remained steadfast in our purpose, the blood hunters would rise from the ashes of their tarnished reputation, stronger and more resilient than ever before. For in the darkness of the night, amidst the shadows that whispered of fear and despair, we would be the light that guided humanity to safety, a beacon of hope in a world plagued by darkness.
Sourced a blood oath of leadership. In the heart of the Blood Hunter sect, an ancient rite dictated the path to leadership, a path paved with blood and shadows. According to tradition, the one who claimed the most confirmed kills would ascend to the revered position of leader, entrusted with the weighty responsibility of guiding the sect through the darkness that threatened to engulf us all. But as the current head of our sect faltered in his duties, his leadership marred by doubt and indecision, I found myself filled with a deep sense of unease. It was clear that a change was needed, a change that could only come from one who possessed the strength and determination to lead us into the future. And so, with a fire burning in my heart and a resolve as unyielding as steel, I set out into the world, determined to prove myself worthy of the mantle of leadership. Armed with nothing but my wits and my skills as a blood hunter, I embarked on a quest to hunt down every monstrous creature that dared to threaten humanity, each kill bringing me one step closer to my ultimate goal. But the path to leadership was fraught with danger and uncertainty, as I faced challenges that tested my courage and resolve at every turn. From the depths of haunted forests to the treacherous peaks of ancient mountains, I hunted down creatures of nightmares, each victory adding to my tally of confirmed kills. Yet, amidst the bloodshed and the chaos, a sense of purpose began to take hold. A purpose that transcended personal ambition and spoke to the greater good of our sect and the world we swore to protect. For I knew that true leadership was not just about strength and skill, but about compassion and wisdom, a guiding light in the darkness that offered hope to those who had lost their way. And as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, I found myself drawing closer to my goal, my tally of confirmed kills growing with each passing day. But it was not just the number that mattered, it was the lives I had saved, the villages I had defended, and the hope I had restored to those who had lost it. In the end, it was not through brute force or ruthless ambition that I claimed the mantle of leadership, but through deeds of courage and selflessness that spoke to the true heart of a blood hunter. And as I stood before my fellow hunters, their eyes filled with respect and admiration, I knew that I had earned my place at the head of our sect, a leader forged in the fires of adversity, ready to guide us through the darkness and into the light.